Greenleaf Compassion Center in Montclair is one of 6 licensed medical cannabis dispensaries in New Jersey. They were kind enough to give us a detailed tour of their grow facility in Sussex County to better understand how cannabis is produced and packaged for sale. The process begins here, in the mother room.
We have all our different strains here, a couple of plants for every strain, so that we have multiple moms to make sure that everything stays in our perpetual harvest cycle, so that we're creating new plants every single week. We will take a cutting from the mother plant. We will strip down all the excess branches and leaves, and then what we have is a cutting that will turn into a new clone.
The clone gets dipped in a rooting gel which will help it form new root growth. The cutting is put into these coconut husk collars and then placed into this machine which sprays a fine mist of nutrients. That new clone becomes a new plant.
So these clones are about a week and a half to 2 weeks in, and you can see they already have some good root growth on them.
Once the clone has grown roots, they're transplanted into containers with soil and fed through an irrigation system. They'll remain here until mature.
And we are now going to change the light cycle so that it's going to get 12 hours of darkness and 12 hours of light. And that's going to initiate the flowering process in the plants.
After about 9 weeks, the buds, or flowers, are ready for harvest.
For the last week and a half, we've been flushing them, so giving them basically just water without any nutrients. That's just to prepare them for harvest so that they taste better, and it's also a smoother smoke when people do use it.
Once cut, the cannabis stems with flowers are hung inside the drying room at 55% humidity, where they will cure for several weeks. The last stop for the flower clusters is here in the trim room, where they are processed. Leaves and twigs are removed, leaving just the flowers.
We'll be taking off all the sugar leaves, all the points that don't have any resin on them, any of the trichomes that have them, all the cannabinoids, all the medicine in it.
The flowers are carefully weighed and packaged. Of course, each cannabis strain is handled and kept separate and labeled accordingly. The packages are now ready for transport back to the dispensary, where they'll be sold to patients as medical cannabis.